Got a number of committee stocks on the move today. We will start with Vertex Pharma. It's 52-week low today on mixed data for its non-opioid drug. Jimmy, you own this stock too.
This is an important drug, so I'm not going to minimize it, but I do want to put the facts out there. So the phase 3 trial that they're talking about, the drug met its primary endpoint. The weird thing is the placebo was similar in its efficacy. Now think about and understand what pain medicine trials are about. It's about doctors talking to patients and getting a subjective evaluation of how they feel. You've seen those charts in your doctor's office with the sad face and the happy face, and where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? It's very subjective. It's not like, hey, did the tumor shrink in size, or how much of this protein is in your blood? This has been known to happen, including with opioid drug trials as well. This is not game over for this drug. There are a number of trials that have already happened and will continue to occur. Many of them have been very positive, but you know, on the margin, this is a piece of bad news. I'm not selling the stock. There are many other shots on goal that this company has, but it is a disappointing piece of news.
Yeah, you just don't want too many own goals, right? You don't want these own goals.
Is that, go ahead, is that like where...
No, I'm just playing off of what you said.
Is that where you, like, the cornerback runs the wrong direction to torture the...
No, that wasn't the wrong direction. That was
dead on.
I was talking about a pick six that you potentially had thrown.
I know, I was trying to say something funny.
It wasn't, but that's okay.
But I tried.
It's all in the attempt.
But I tried.
It's in the attempt.
He's really got to stay in his lane, which isn't humor or healthcare, apparently.
Yeah. Shake Shack target 147 from 144. Truist reiterate buy. They raise their estimates too.
If you think about what's happened with this company, the transformation currently underway, they had an amazing CEO who took the company public, Randy Garutti. He steps down. They bring in a new CEO who had grown and scaled Papa John's into one of the largest, most successful quick service restaurant businesses in the country. And that process of scaling Shake Shack is now underway. I agree with the call. And I think this is the type of stock that really, it's not a macro concern story. It's not interest rates. It doesn't really have those drivers. All they have to do is to continue to execute on opening new stores, raising same-store sales, and the stock should continue to work.
Okay. Looks like it's getting a little bit of a lift.
Is this a new 52-week high-ish, I think?
Maybe
a new all-time high? Raise the roof.
All right. Zoom Video upgraded to a buy. There's Shaq. Zoom Video upgraded to buy from hold at Jefferies. Target increased to 100 from 85. That's a 22% upside they see.
Yeah, I've been in this stock before. I think it's too cheap. I think it's 16 times forward. And the thing about Zoom that not a lot of people have accepted yet is that they are using the video business as a way to lure in enterprise customers for some of their other offerings. We're a customer of Zoom. The telephony solution allows us to compliantly carry on text conversations with our clients, which you can't do with your personal cell phone. And they've unveiled a whole lot of things this year in the AI world, and I think that they're starting to get credit for that. The stock is acting better and better. It's a slow grind higher, but it is moving higher nonetheless.
Liz, what about housing? I mean, Lennar's down after its earnings and revenue miss. I mean, these stocks have been really bad. It's a 52-week low. Anything housing is down today. Sherwin's down. We can show that. We can show Depot is down. This is down 6%, this being Lennar. What do we make of this trade? Higher rates, and if you have CEOs of real estate companies talking about mortgage rates staying above 6% for the next couple of years, like I think it was the Compass CEO on the network said, is that a problem?
It's a problem for the housing market. I mean, it's been frozen for a while because of where rates are, and now we've got a 10-year that during the show has moved to 457. So usually you can think about it as 300 basis points above the 10-year is about where mortgage rates tend to fall. So we're still well above 7% in mortgage rates, and that's not going to encourage a lot of transacting. So the existing home sales number is going to stay tight. We've had some pretty bad housing starts data. You've got construction numbers slowing down because of this. The biggest concern that I have about the real estate market is that if there aren't projects being undertaken, if things are being finished and there aren't new ones coming, what happens is construction unemployment falls. Construction unemployment is a leading indicator of the rest of the labor market. If construction unemployment goes up, then the rest of the labor market usually follows 6 to 9 months from then. So we do need to unlock the housing market.
I'm sorry. He and obviously he talked very glowingly, I think I can say about the economy at large, right? How remarkable it was doing, certainly relative to everywhere else. But he did call out the housing market. I mean, right? Of all of the things that are good in this economy, that's not it.
Right. Well, the other thing is shelter is such a lagged component. It's not something that we can really affect on a month-to-month basis. And obviously, if we're worried about inflation in housing, raising rates is just going to keep the market frozen longer. So the effect isn't the same. Same with car insurance, a very lagged component. It moves very slowly. The reaction function is much longer than the rest of inflation. If you strip out both of those, shelter and car insurance, inflation actually looks fine. So, and they know that, right? They're aware of that. The issue is that the reality for the American people is that you still have to pay for car insurance and you still have to pay for shelter. So they're trying to control for all those
Well, you'd like
factors.
to get the housing market sort of moving again.